What's up, Danny Shade Show people? Danny Shade here. I am unfortunately in Logan County Jail, but I've made friends with the Podfather, Logan County Sheriff Damon Devereaux. You want to say hi to the Danny Shade Show people?
Hey, Danny Shade Show people.
Hold on here. Okay.
That's a good one.
Oh, thank you.
That's a good flush.
Well, I'm just looking out for you, man. It's a small room.
Thank you.
So, thanks for coming on the Danny Shade Show.
Hey, man, I've been anxious for this.
Have you really?
I sure have.
I love it. So, as you know, most of you know Damon Devereaux. He's a good friend of mine, and he's a brother. And not only that, he's been in law enforcement as long as I can remember. Even when we were younger, he was a patrolman for the Guthrie Police Department.
Yep.
And then
Started in 1991.
1991.
Half my life. Over half my life.
That's awesome. And then moved up the ranks, and then was the chief of police here sorry, I got Perry on the brain.
Yeah.
Y'all
about the Perry area.
I love Perry. Then was the chief of police for Guthrie Police Department, and then moved over to being the sheriff. And you've been the sheriff for quite a while.
Going on 10 years now. Yep.
Jeez Louise.
Sworn in 17 and still here on my third term, and hopefully we'll see a fourth.
You liking it?
I love it. Best job I've ever had.
Is anybody running against you?
Well, we won't know till for a couple of years.
Have you ever had anybody run against you?
Just the first time. There were 7 of us total that ran, and it came down to the runoff, which obviously won that and became the sheriff. The last 2 filings, nobody's filed against me. So either I'm doing a good job or I've got it so screwed up nobody wants it. I'm fine with either.
Yeah, no, I think you're doing a good
I
job.
appreciate that.
I've never heard anything bad. Always positive when your name comes up, which is rare because we hang out with people that usually shoot us pretty straight. So
Sure. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And as you should. If you're hanging out with people that just tell you how pretty you are all the time, you're with the wrong people. Well, man, tell us a little bit about what it's like being the sheriff, because we were talking in your office the other day, and you hit me with, it got a little deep. I mean, you hit me with some really good stuff that I was not expecting. Not that I don't expect it from you, but in a sheriff capacity, most people don't talk like that.
Well, I mean, obviously, one of my main responsibilities is operating the detention center. But statutorily, that's one of my big goals or tasks, if you will. And I can tell you, when I became sheriff, never having a jail besides our little holding facility at Guthrie, didn't know the ins and outs of what it took to run a 200-bed jail. So coming in, that was probably where I lacked the most experience at. Luckily, I had great staff that caught me up to speed and kind of told me the daily workings, the good stuff, the bad stuff with having a jail. Little did I know that those people in my detention center were going to be a mission field for me to interact with, to pour into them, to listen to them. Because a lot of these people, they see law enforcement a certain way. They're always out to get them. And here we kind of have a different philosophy of the people that come to our facility. Is they're just people, man, that made some bad choices. Some of them really bad choices. Some of them several bad choices. But at the end of the day, they're human beings. And I believe that if we can pour into them to get them some self-worth, to get them to see the value, to see the opportunities that are out there, to be successful, that's our job. And I can tell you, we do a lot of that here. Like I said, I didn't know that as the sheriff, I was going to have the relationship with a lot of my inmates that I do, even when they get out. So that's probably been the biggest surprise to me, the impact that we can have as our detention deputies, our administration, me. I'm coming back here, having a conversation with them. I'm giving them the time today to talk about things and trying to help them along the way with future decisions and stuff like that. I think we as men, if we're not pouring into other men, regardless of their status or whatever, that's our job as men, is to pour into one another to make each other better. And that's what we try to do here.
Man, I love that. Most of you guys, obviously, on the Danny Shade Show, you know my story, but I've spent most of my young adult life in a room like this for real. I wasn't just sitting around playing and hee-hawing with my friend here. I lost 5 years of my life between county jail and prison, and and just by the grace of God and the love of my wife, I turned it around, man. I turned my life around, and I'm telling you, we need more men like this. The people that think just being terrible and being a bully and being rough on people, and because you're in a position of power or a position of authority over someone, and you can, just because you can make them do what you want to do, these are the people that you want in these positions, because they don't just punish a person, they invest in a person and pour into a person and build that person back up and give them the small victories that it takes to, once they walk out these doors, understand that their life doesn't have to be this way.
That's right.
Man, you're freaking awesome, dude. I'm not just pumping you up. I love you. I think it's awesome. Just watching you interact with the inmates down here. These guys are in jail, the worst place you can be,
Sure.
and they are smiling, eyes light up when they see you.
Well, I get some flack from people the way that we treat our inmates. They need to get beans and bread and stuff like that. And I try to tell people, look, it's not my job to punish people that come here. My number one priority is creating a safe and secure environment for them. Them being in a cell like this is their punishment. Them not being able to give a hug to a loved one, or go out to eat, or walk into Love's convenience store. That's punishment. Them, restricting what they can do. They're essentially no longer a free person in society. So we try to create a safe and secure environment. And I tell you, I talk to legislators and different people all the time about how counties are the state's missing the boat on corrections. Sadly, once they go to DOC, depending on how long they're there, that's when the correction starts. And it's our mentality here. Let's start it at the lowest level possible. I've got five programs through my jail. Every day we're doing a program with our inmates, from financial management to there's a program, I can't remember the name, but it's basically a father figure, things that you may have grew up that your father did, things that you want to do as a father, and for those guys that aren't fathers, how to be a good father. Loving, nurturing, discipline, accountability, role model type stuff. We also do, there's a Smart Start recovery for those that are in here, going through recovery, how to identify triggers, how to build things to handle those triggers so you don't go down that path again. And that's all stuff that we do. The state doesn't fund that. We have an individual here from North Care that we partnered with that has been absolutely tremendous in changing the inmates' lives once they leave here, to the point that they will come back to meet with her, to ask questions, a new trigger comes up, and they will come here, sit in the lobby until she has time to come out and meet with them to talk about it. So, to me, the state's missing that piece of trying to change behavior, to put things in place, to show them what success looks like and how to get it, instead of waiting until they commit a crime to have to go do 5 or 10 years and then start some programs. And here we've kind of taken the initiative to start that here. The last year, I think there was 86 people that went through the programs, and there's only 3 that actually come back on new charges during that time. So I'm telling you, we're making an investment and we're seeing a return.
Well, and people don't understand that just because you get sentenced to 5 years in prison, it's not just 5 years.
Sure.
The recoup rate of getting your feet back under you, finding a job, finding somebody that'll hire you. I have a Bible study every Thursday in Oklahoma City at 6 a.m. at B&H Construction. And those guys, I'm telling you, if I didn't have my own deal going on, that'd be a company I'd want to work for.
Sure.
They're a second chance company, and they give guys the opportunity, but they don't just give them a job and then hold it over them and like scare them into,
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
They pour into them. They have these Bible studies. They do everything they can to get these guys back, because what people don't understand is, yes, you may get sentenced to a year in jail, or you may get sentenced to 5 years in prison. But really, if you look at what you lose, and let's just talk about your credit score goes in the tank. Everything you've owned goes away. You lose your driver's license, like all this stuff. By the time you get out, you don't just get out and then it's like, oh, everything's back to normal.
Yeah, that 5 years cost you 10 years.
10 years
of trying to build yourself back up. And that's the thing too. Just like my jail. I mean, there's people here that have worked the programs. I know between my undersheriff and Kelly, our lady that does it, we get them job interviews. We even take them to get their driver's license back. We do whatever we can do that we have time to do to try to show them people care. I say all the time to business owners and stuff like that, when people are applying, there's two letters that they consider to be the or A for addict, F for felon.
Yeah.
And I try to tell people, if we're not giving them an opportunity, or not giving them an opportunity, but if we're not giving them some opportunities to be good citizens, good citizens of the community with jobs and stuff like that, then, because society as a whole a lot of times turns their back on them, and then what do? They go back to what they know, instead of
out of ease.
Yeah.
There are people that deserve what they get.
Sure,
they cannot be in
100%.
Society. They're not safe with society, and they need to be under the jail. But there's a whole lot of people that just need a little course correction or a little guidance.
Well, I tell people all the time, the majority of the people I have in my jail are good people that just made poor choices or horrible mistakes. Now, I do have that percentage that this is by far the safest place for society for them to be here, that are just the evil of the evil.
Yeah.
And no matter what we do, and we've had those people that we poured into and got them jobs and stayed in touch with them, and they have a bad day and go back down the trail again, and then they reach out, and we handle them with a little distance, because we get invested too in these people.
Oh yeah.
And the hardest thing to do is invest, and then you get let down. We get let down. It's like, man, this person has all the capabilities of doing great things, but yet they backslide. And it's like, okay, I'm still here, but this time you're going to have to want me to. You're going to have to want me to invest in you, because I was invested in you. So now it's like, you show me, I'll show you. So it's a partnership.
I tell people that, I talk about rock bottom a lot when I give my testimony at certain places. Mm-hmm. And I ask people what rock bottom is, as just a setup and a segue into what, I think it is. And people are always like, well, it's just when you've hit the bottom, or you're out of money, or you're out of dope, or you're out of this, or you're out of that. And it's not. Rock bottom is when you finally run out of other people to blame, and you have to look at yourself as the problem.
That's good.
Once you can look at yourself as the problem, and then understand that until you change, your life is never going to change. We can want it for you all day long, but until you want it and start understanding that you're the constant in your life that needs to change, nothing's going to ever happen.
That's it. It's got to start from inside. And that's I have parents, families will come in, because they'll parents a lot of times will come in and sit down at my table. I know the family, the kid was raised in a good family, father was there, just everything, but yet he made the choice to do whatever. And they, a lot of times they find themselves to blame, because it's like, where did we go wrong? And I tell them, I say, God gave us a blessing and a curse of free will. And at the end of the day, it's that person's choice how they use that, which path they can go down. I said, there's so many parents that feel that they've messed up. And it's like, you raised them in church, you did this, you did that. As soon as they get 18 and can make those decisions on their own, it's free will. I said, I call free will a blessing and a curse, because it can either be a blessing based on how you use it, or your free will can certainly curse you to a small cell like this. So you choose.
So So let's take a little bit of a turn off of that, and let's get into, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
What's Damon Devereaux, man? Who is he? What do you like to do when you're not sheriff? And I know that's your life, but there's got to be some other stuff.
And
hopefully for your wife's sake, there's other stuff.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The sheriff position, you can be as hands-on or as hands-off with it. I'm a guy that I try to go to sleep at night trying to thinking of the next day, thinking of the what ifs or what's going on in the detention center. How are we going to cover patrol shift because this happened? It's hard to shut that off. Being bought in is also a blessing and a curse. We've been able to do amazing things here at the Logan County Sheriff's Office. We've got a phenomenal staff that's bought into the mission. But it's
everybody around here seems awesome.
Yeah,
usually you have your Debbie Downers, and you're like, you can pick out the people that are kind of like, oh, but everybody I've seen today is like, pretty fired up.
Well, I've tried to create a culture that people don't leave because I can't pay them to stay.
Yeah.
So I try to create an enjoyable environment they enjoy working in. That's number one. When I'm hiring staff, I ask them if they enjoy having fun. Yes. Okay, that's a priority at this job, because the day you quit having fun and enjoying what you're doing, then you need to find another job, because in this profession, people are our business. And you can be having a bad day, but these inmates better not know it. The public better not know that you're having a bad day, because at the end of the day, everything you do represents me. And I have to tell myself that too at times. I had a bad day, didn't sleep good, just not in a good mood. To people, you got to compartmentalize that till you get home. But every day is a new day to serve the people, the staff, as well as my inmates. Hobbies.
Now, I was going to say, I'm going to hold you to it, dude. You got to talk about something other than being in a sheriff.
Man, I recently bought a fly rod combo. What? That's pretty cool. Why are you laughing at me?
Shut up, dude.
I did.
Did you really?
I did.
What are you gonna? Where the hell are you gonna go to Cimarron fly fish?
No, you can fly fish anywhere. You can fish in any pond, river. If there's water, you can fly fish it. But I'm trying to find hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I seen your truck.
Yeah, that's a hobby. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Sky high, baby.
I do vacuum it often. That's a hobby. Because I do like to keep my truck clean.
Okay, I don't want to crap on your ideas. Sorry. So you're gonna fly fish.
Well, like I said, I've in law enforcement, the longer you've been in law enforcement, there's the uses. Well, yeah, man, I used to go to the gym all the time. I used to enjoy riding my bicycle. But as you get deeper down I'll call it the rat hole of the job, if you let it, starts to consume your life. And I'm a prime example of that.
You're looking for some quiet time.
Just looking for that solitude, nature. Taking off on a weekend and going to the Illinois River and camping out and fishing and just.
Dude, you know what I did last week? Not to cut you off.
I'm scared to ask.
I went buggying. Yeah. Have you ever heard of that?
Buggying? Sure, like a Little Sahara or wherever.
We went to this place called Fiddler's Bend on 412, right before Salem Springs.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, dangerous awesome. Like, I want to go buy a buggy, and I know I can't buy a buggy.
Buggy so bad. Well,
they're expensive.
We want a side by side.
That's what we want. Yeah.
Yeah, they are expensive.
They're expensive.
Okay, something I do enjoy, rodeo.
There you go.
I got into bull riding a little bit. I have not been successful at it, so don't expect to see me on.
But you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it, but I also know the risk that comes with it. So I've weighed that with being soon to be 56 years old. It's probably not a good idea. 56. Yeah, I'm close to the end of the beginning.
Jesus.
But like this Sunday, we've got a buck and horse practice. So I always go down there, worked out, gate, strip and shoots. That is as far from law enforcement as you can get.
Yeah.
Working around livestock, and so that's my escape. I thoroughly enjoy doing that, being around the animals.
That's cool.
And seeing the young riders out there training and trying to get some some kicks in.
You got anything coming up on the horizon as far as Logan County Sheriff's Office goes? It's kind of cool. Any kind of breaking news or any kind of?
And probably one of the coolest things we got right now is my under Sheriff Troy Dykes is in the FBI National Academy.
Wow, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Quite an honor for him to be selected to attend that. He's gone 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
So
that is a big deal.
It's
so you're both jobs.
Yeah, but like I said, I got good staff that's kind of picking up the slack. But I think he's the only one that's ever been selected from Logan County Sheriff's Office to go. And he texts me all the time, sends pictures. It's basically a 3-month leadership school, taught by the best in the nation. I mean, he's in Quantico, Virginia at the FBI Academy. There were 250 other people. Each state gets, like I said, 3 for each academy. So, and the other 2 guys that went from Oklahoma, he knows them, or he knows one of them. But huge deal for Troy. And of course, Troy's coming back. When I tell people he's in the National Academy, they think he went to the FBI. So at the end of that 3 months, he'll come back and basically instill everything he learned.
Yeah, I was going to say, train you all up. Yeah.
Staff, and Troy's my right hand man. He's my boy. You know what I'm saying? He's good people.
Yeah.
So I was glad to see him because I sit on the National Sheriff's Board, so I travel a lot with it, and Troy stays and mans the ship while I'm gone. So it's kind of a good trade-off that he gets to attend such an amazing school.
So if there was anything, we'll wrap it up. I know you're a busy guy, but if there was anything you could just say directly to the Danny Shade Show people that you wanted to get out there that I may not have brought up, what you got?
Man, you started the first question off, what's it like being sheriff? I think the biggest thing that I honor, if you will, is I truly work for the people. We're elected every 4 years, presidential cycle, and serving the actual people is to me one of the greatest honors that we can do as humans, if you will. Is my task is taking care of every citizen in Logan County that passes through, be it on the interstates, the highways, whatever. As soon as they come into my county, I'm responsible for them and to them. But I think that's one of the biggest things a lot of people don't understand. When I first came into office, somebody asked me, "Who do I work? Who's my boss?" And I said, "Man, honestly, I don't know." Well, it's 50,000 people.
Yeah.
That's who I work for.
Yeah, the citizen.
The citizens are who I work for. And that in itself is daunting when you think about it. That I just don't have 1 or 2 people to make happy. I've got to make sure that I do the job that my citizens put me in this position for. So every day I get up, and even if it's, like I said, one of those days where you just don't feel like going to work, and it's like, no, the citizens are dependent on me to do what we do. And I don't take that lightly.
That's awesome. Well, there you go, guys. I promised you a good interview and a good guy, and it doesn't get much better. I don't do the whole, I'm not real good at the other stuff, but the follow and the like. So if you see it on Facebook, like it, share a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like. Tell Damon what you think. And we don't censor comments. If you got something to say it. He'll address it. He's got no problem with it. But if you want to say something, and let him know maybe how, he's doing, or if you think he's doing a good job, which I'm sure you do, let the guy know, because people always complain when they want to say the bad stuff, but they usually keep the good stuff to themselves. And
keep in mind too, if there's anybody out there that's curious what the inside of a detention center looks like, I give tours all the time. Very, very proud of our facility. We spend.
This is a very nice facility.
Well, safe and secure environment.
Yeah.
It's a place that I would have a loved one stay in if, God forbid, they had to come here. And some have.
Yeah.
It's just the way of the world. Just the way of the world. But just know I give tours. This is the People's Detention Center, and I'm always happy to show it off, to show the kitchen, to show the laundry room, to show the whole workings of the jail, because at the end of the day, this is your house, the people's house. They built it, and I want them to know that we're doing everything in our power create a safe and secure environment, and it is a safe place if your loved ones do have to come here and spend some time. That's probably the biggest thing I get is families concerned with safety.
Yeah.
And we got cameras. We've got, we're in our medical cell right now. We have nursing staff. We have food vendors. We have, it's like a little city.
Yeah.
And it's my job to keep it safe here too.
And if you don't follow the law, you get a free tour.
There's that too. We'll feed you.
Free meal. Anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate you tuning in and watching the interview with Damon. Good guy. If you want to learn more about him or learn more about the jail, he's an open book. Reach out. Like us, join us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, whatever you got to do, all of that good stuff. But no matter what you do, just remember, no matter where you're at in life, no matter how low you are, no matter if you think it's over or you can't go anywhere, or it just doesn't look like there's a up, there is an up. You just got to find, you're surrounding yourself with the wrong environment or the wrong people.
That's right.
Find some people like me, Damon, local preachers, pastors, coaches, business owners, anybody. Find somebody in your community that maybe you want to be like. And I bet you they help you out.
100%.
Anyway, love you guys. Y'all stay out there.
Thanks, Danny.
I hope that worked out good. Because if not, we're going to do it again. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, shit. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. What? Oh, hell. It's still recording. That's pretty good.